Hello everyone, it's Wednesday, so that means we're streaming. I'm Oni Black Mage, and today we are doing something a little different. As you know, throughout the year, I either do backlog battlefields, which is playing a game that is on my backlog, and I'm just have an itch that I want to scratch. Then, whenever a Goatee of the Year candidate comes up along the year, then I'll play that. But I still gotta get recaps done, and I figured this was a great way to hit 3 birds with 1 stone. Because some people are always curious, hey, what's the behind-the-scenes creation of a recap? What goes into it? How does it go down? Another is, hey, I have something to stream that, by the way, I actually have never played Secret of Mana. So this will be a first-time playthrough for me first. And also, this is going to be done in the format of recapping. So it's not going to be your traditional playthrough. It's not going to have the traditional pace. And I'll explain that in just a bit, just to get everyone settled in. Other than that, hello Jax, hello Geiger, Dolphin, Magister, Starshine, Tayan, how are you today? Thank you all so much for joining in early. So here's how it goes down. I put some of the ground rules in the description, but I'll kind of reiterate them here. So this is going to be a recap playthrough. What does that mean? It means that at the same time, I'm doing this as if I was actually going to recap this, because I am. You guys are just going to be here on the couch with me. So the pace with which I usually set up a recap is going to be, first and foremost, you obviously have to have the script set up to the side. I always have Notepad open. Along the way, as we play the game normally, we're going to be doing it in a somewhat time-optimized fashion. We don't have time to 100% this game. We don't have time to do all the optional challenges. We don't have time to do everything, just soak in the atmosphere. I don't have time for that. You know, if you guys want that, we can go back to the old posting schedule of recap, where I post 1 recap every 5 months. And nobody wants that. I also, am beyond that. So, while it's not going to be the same way you probably enjoyed this game, this is the way that I have to digest recaps, which is getting through the game as fast as possible, which means anything that shaves time is going to be utilized here. We're not going to be doing glitches or hacks or cheats. We're not going to do anything like that, because I need to record this and obviously put footage out there. People always wonder, where do you get your footage? Well, I collect the footage. If there is an optional boss or something that's story related that is so far off the beaten path, or like you need to 100% complete it or something like that, then I usually will ask outside help if somebody can get me that footage. And I have a few go-tos of people that have over the years been nice enough to allow me to use footage that they generate for me. Other than that, I get the core story out. I don't care about all those other things. I don't care about outside lore. I don't care about getting max everything. Like, if I was normally playing through, absolutely, but that is not how it goes down. You will also have frequent breaks, so settle in. Because there will be many times where it's going to be, okay, story happened, and I'm going to turn right over here to my other screen and go clack, 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 clack. So I'm going to be doing that. If you don't like my clacky keyboard, that is a personal problem, because I like clacky keyboards. And you are going to be hearing me type at the same time as I am getting the recap information. I usually build a skeleton of the game first with as much details or timestamps as I need, and then I go back through a second time with the footage to fill in any additional things for transition or extra details. So if you have boss strats or time-saving tips or pro tips, I'm okay with hearing it. I am not okay with hearing story spoilers. People trying to backseat game for me. That is not useful. I'm ignoring you. And if you also are ever so bold as to try to tell me, hey, you should include this, you should not include that, this is my script, this is my recap, please respect that. I will probably ignore you if you do something like that. This is the Collection of Mana, by the way, on the Switch, which has Final Fantasy Adventure, which was technically the first Mana game, Secret of Mana, and Trials of Mana, the first English port of this. What is it, Sanken Densetsu 3, whatever it's called. I will probably do Trials of Mana later, but for now we're doing Secret of Mana. I have not done... Actually, no, I did do the first Mana game. But I did the Game Boy edition of that. So, we're going to be using default names. Off stream, I'll probably do grinding if there's ever grinding. But yeah, if you guys have anything you want to talk about, or even reminisce, or like I said, any tips, or if I'm missing anything that will really be helpful, that will be helpful. As far as I can tell, there are no alternate endings to this game. If I am mistaken on that, please correct me. Because if there is a canon ending, then I do want to know that. But as far as I can tell, there is no ending. There's just one ending. So we don't have to worry too much about missing anything, so... Or I don't think it's a secret ending either. That's usually what I look up when I first start up the game. So let's get started. Otherwise, how's everybody joining up the chat? Thank you so much joining. Let's see. Zaf, Shadows, Sam, Umbra, hello. Just a game tip real fast that confused me. When you attack, wait until the bar says 100% before attacking, otherwise you either miss or do reduced damage. I see. So it's stamina tied damage. Oh, wait, hold on. What did I just pick? You guys got to look at my Switch home screen there. This will be good collection footage anyway. I don't think there's an intro cutscene, so getting some B-roll of the beginning is good. Dash, attack, basically do everything button, allies ring commands, and then ring command for yourself. Alright, seems straightforward. Okay, English US. Hey Travis, hello, how are you today? C West. Thanks for joining me on this. So I see this is originally 3x4. I wonder if we can sharpen that up, change display. Alright, so you have a choice of either super stretched or kind of stretched. Honestly, this is how it's going to look anyway. I'm probably going to black bar out the sides. This is some behind the scenes commentary. This is the stuff I'm going to try to tell you what I'm thinking. By the way, that's what actual 16-bit art looks like. When people are always thinking, man, 16-bit art, man, it looks so sharp and clean and refined. No, it looked blurry and it was on CRTs, so you didn't mind. It's also kind of quiet. All right, thank you. Let me know how the audio balance is. Let's see if that's better. How does that sound for everyone? Alright, so this is good B-roll footage that I'll probably let sit for about 2 minutes. The average length for a recap intro is usually about a minute and a half if it's long. So letting it kind of scroll like this is good. Some of you may be thinking, is Secret of Mana going to be the next recap? That is not the case. The next the next recap is going to be a surprise, but afterwards I am working on both Persona 2's Innocent Sin and Eternal Punishment, so it's going to be very Persona 2 month coming up tomorrow, actually. Let's see. That seems about the right loop. If I need to loop it, I can always loop it again. You always know, I appreciate them putting the director and composer, because I always put the director and composer at the beginning too. 1993, by the way. Alright. So according to the general stuff out there, there are actual canon names for each of the 3 characters. It looks like Randy is the name of the boy with an I. Prim with 2 M's is the girl. And there's a little fairy named Popoi, I believe. Let me double check that. Yeah, Popoi. Oops. Game did not like me waiting. This is a new game. Alright, so just so you know, it says select... Or B button, I was gonna say. It's like, the accept button is not the same button as the, go forward button. Oops. Hold on. How do I go back? Alright. How many of you actually played this back in 1993? I never had the opportunity to because I never had a Super NES. Super NES was one of the consoles I never owned. We're not going to skip past any dialogue, and usually whenever we come across somebody with a dialogue bubble, we're going to be pausing on it for just a second. Usually most cuts are about 1 or 2 seconds. Publius, will this be available to watch later? Yes. Just take a look at the front page. There will be a new playlist set up for this particular game, so you can always catch the VOD later. This text is going by very quickly. I'm not too worried about preamble. I can always copy that down again later. This is just set up for world building. Look at that Mode 7 in action. This was a big deal back in 1993, by the way. This floored us. Sprites look pretty good. Fun tip about Randy and Secret of Mana. Secret of Mana and Chrono Trigger started their development roughly the same time. And you may be thinking, whoa, Chrono Trigger came way later. Yes, many circumstances pushed Chrono Trigger along, including the fact that it was almost Final Fantasy VII. However, the development for Chrono and Randy here were around the same time. At one point, they were the same character. Chrono Trigger was actually going to be a Final Fantasy game, and then it went back to being a Mana game, and then it just became its own thing. But that's why Randy and Chrono look so much alike, is because they were at one point the same character. Fun fact. So, if you ever wonder why I stick so long on dialogue, is because I don't know how much I'm going to be talking during the setup, or I need this as B-roll footage. So usually around 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds is how long I will stay on a screen. VIP. It was 18 working at Taco Bell and had a Super Nintendo. Nice. Good stuff. EK, are you going to play the whole game? Of course. Of course we are. Of course. No auto-scrolling, which is fine. I am mentally counting in my head 3 seconds. I do wonder if these two boys are going to be relevant at some point. Usually what I start is I start like right there. So here we had a screen transition. This is actually where I start typing. This is where as the game begins. I'm not going to read you exactly what I'm typing because it's notes. This will be a short summary of the intro, as well as what just happened. Because it's better to add action as it happens. You can always edit it out later. And I do edit out, not a lot of things, but most things. When it's a transitionary scene, like clearly Randy has gone from establishing scene to transitional scene, something's going to happen because he's by himself. We can see the setup happening. Okay. Smooth movement. It's a little... I can tell this is actually better with the D-pad than the analog stick. The analog stick, there's a slight delay when you're trying to go diagonal. This is definitely meant to be played with a D-pad. D-pad is much smoother. And why wouldn't it be? This was designed for the Super Nintendo. Nice music, by the way. Alright, so another part, by the way, is that this is hard because I only have chat on one screen, I have my notepad on one screen, and normally I have a guide on one screen. So there are too many screens up right now. And usually what I do is if I ever get, I try to play as naturally as possible, but as quickly as possible. And if I ever get stuck, I always have a guide open. We don't have time to figure things out. Alright, so Randy just had somebody call out to him. Umar, are you gonna do a recap of Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2? Not anytime soon, I hate to say. I have a pretty packed queue. That also would not be part of the current Phase 2 softlock. And what do I mean by that? If you're not already aware, there are too many open series. And as such, Phase 1 are the series that I started recap on, which, by the way, happy birthday last week to Kingdom Hearts, the very first recapitation video. I mean, yeah, he sees that. Alright, so we need to get into the water. Alright. Can we jump off here? It's hard to tell. No, we can't. It's already morning for you, Nolan? Man, 4 a.m.? Good lord. See, I always like to think that I'm a night owl, but my goodness. Is Metal Gear series still planned for recap? Yes, it is, Celestial. It is planned for what I'm calling Phase 3. Phase 3 is going to be post-softlock. So... Is he gonna let me pass? Because is there a way up through there? There it is. Okay, let's say. Can I get back? Is there a connecting way there? No. Where's the entry point back into this little river? Okay, right here. Nothing up there. I still always have to fight my inner instinct to check a corner. Alright, so sometimes I like to have a clean shot setup. So if I see that an event's about to happen, I like to have it to where you can see it looks like a clean shot. It's like acting. You're basically setting up a shot and then making it look smooth, like there. That looked like a good take. So this is actually scrolling automatically, the text. A ghost. I wonder if that's one of the Gemma Knights. Interesting pose they have him stand in. Alright. Okay. It takes 3 seconds for him to recharge his stamina. Okay. I like the bounce of the numbers. It's not the most impressive range, but you know, it's a starter weapon. You think with the legendary sword in the stone it would have something nice. You can cut grass, that's pretty cool. I like the range with which you can cut grass. See, one thing that's always nice, that you can always appreciate, is art aesthetic. Because art aesthetic is always a reflection of the times. So, during this time, 1993, this is actually really good sprite art. And actually, it still holds up today. This is still really good sprite art. This type of sprite art, and the sprite art of Final Fantasy VI, are the type of art that people still to this day, for many indie projects, still go. And that damage drop-off is harsh when you're not 100%. As you may have noticed, I'm playing by myself. Oof, can't poke. No slash. I wonder if we get sword techniques later. I also like taking note of the music that plays during a particular section, because if I can help it, I like to match the music of the area or encounter or arc that I'm in with whatever is going on. Even if you can't... Oh. The knockback. Even if you can't damage them for a lot, if you can still poke them, it can still keep them away. Is there a sweet spot? Can we cut the flowers? We can't cut the flowers. So you can hit above him, but you can't hit below him. Alright, so there's weapon skill. Sword reaches level 1. Good to know. Actually, now that we have this open... So that's the weapon wheel. Oh, you can quick save. That's cool. This will clearly be something that I want. Forest off limits. I was hoping the forest had a name. Oh. So you can hit him even though you're up here. That's funny to me. I wonder if there's a point to cutting grass. I guess this was their attempt at the time to make it action-oriented, but still have limitations. I feel like there's a weight limit to it. I do like that you get the results immediately and they just appear and they go away. That's it. How many of you feel like this is the 90s again? This is how it is for every recap. It's like, yep, back in the 2000s or back in the 90s. I think some people never left. Jonah, how does a live recap work? I went through a lot of the ground rules earlier. Alright, first things first, we're in a village. This is not my favorite part of any RPG, which is determining if this is the type of RPG where you need to talk to every single villager, because there's some series like that, or if this is one of those RPGs where you need to talk to select villagers to progress things, or, and this is also very common, RPGs where the villagers or any NPC that's not directly related to a quest doesn't matter, and you can just safely ignore them. However, this lady is talking about something that may or may not be story related. Hey, something lit up in the sky near the falls. However, that's an event we just talked about, so don't need to note that. However, she was talking about some sort of legend, or even, hey, welcome to blah 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 village. That would help too. So, many RPGs fall into that. This is a very nice town music, by the way. And it's not a harsh criticism, it's just the facts. This dude is jamming. Alright. Interesting shop menu. So what does Candy do? I have to wonder. I'm assuming the rest of this is armor. Cup of Wishes, no idea what that does. It's stuff like this where I don't bother to figure it out. You guys can either tell me, which would be a huge help, or I'm just gonna look at this guide over here and look at an item description. Thought this was pre-recorded? Nah, this is a live stream. So, this is me, this is the process of making a recap, if you ever want to know. I will make a note that Randy is in trouble with the village chief, or he's in trouble and the village chief wants to see him. That may or may not be important, I may end up cutting that out. That could just be a useless transition for the story, or it could just be, you know, when he goes to the village, he goes to the chief. That's it. Candy restores MP. Alright, candies are your potions. Okay, and Cups of Wishes are your Phoenix Downs. Thank you. Appreciate that, Magister Jake. Is this one of those RPGs where every single town you go to, you need to buy everything in the shop because that's exactly what upgrades you? A stat screen would be appreciated. Oops. Don't touch the shoulder buttons. The go back buttons and the OK buttons are very alien. Because to move to accept something is B, and to say no to something is Y. It's like, wow, that is so alien. It's the same guy again. The good old days when sprites were recycled. Let's save for posterity purposes, just in case the quick save doesn't work. Chocolate's like a high potion, very well known as MP Restore. Thank you. See, this is the cool part about doing a live recap, is instead of having to stop and look up all the item descriptions, I can just talk to you veterans right here. Feels like a team effort. Alright, Elder's looking for us, that's fine. I may have to look up the name of the village later if nobody in town tells me. Unique sprite means he's important. Is this also the type of game where you have secrets lying around, like hidden walls and stuff like that? Alright. One of those kids ratted me out and say I did something wrong. Small village, not too many people to talk to. Elder doesn't have a name. So Elliot and Timothy have names. That leads me to believe they're going to be important in some way. Thank you, the Enforcer. I appreciate that tip. Okay. Alright, shocked to see he pulled out the Mana Sword. It's impossible, apparently. So here's the thing, I have to sit behind my squeaky chair, but I have to sit back to look at this. You can't sit, this is one of those where you don't want to sit too close to the TV. You have to just be far away. Alright, so legend has it the village will be finished if the sword is removed. Okay. Podos Village. Okay, I'll make a note of that. Podos Village. It's one of those things where I imagine if you had the guide or Nintendo Power, it would have been handy to, they probably would have told you. It has some cool art. Alright. Dinosaurs protecting the village from disaster. They don't specify how, I wonder. Alright. It's like, alright, I just pulled the sword out literally 10 minutes ago. Those monsters were there already. Just saying. Okay, so Randy's an outsider. Something to note. In the 90s, it was okay to punch children in video games. Just, you know, just letting you guys know. That's hilarious. Goodbye, Elliot. We got some boss music going. Alright, let's see. Sorry, Elliot, we're gonna just let you sit there panic for a while we recap what just happened. I have to wonder if it really was an earthquake, or if it just wasn't this monster targeting them. Because that earthquake in Rumble, I mean, it was probably just him thinking it was an earthquake. Because obviously a hole opened up specifically under it. This monster is like a tremor. Alright. Oh, this is nice boss music. I like that flare in the middle. Alright. That's just set up, and I took a couple notes. It's not that important to notate a starting boss unless it's part of like a race that's going to be relevant later, or it's going to be a recurring character. Watch how the character moves, alright? Look at Mantis Man. Ow. One shot. That was brutal. Can't do anything. Oh, you can do something. Thanks for the free heal. How can you dodge that, I wonder? I can't move. I actually can't move. Alright. I wonder if it's possible to not lose this as long as the Deathman is going to constantly be rezzing me. Alright, so when they use a skill, time freezes. First try. Cough. That homing scythe was ridiculous, because like I'm trying to run circles, and it just homes on you. Alright, did that boss have a name? I didn't see any sort of indicator for that. Way to go. You got the Swords Orb. I wonder if they're going to in-game define how death comes up and just reses you. Dodge and charge attacks. Watch out for missile. I mean, I watched it. I watched it come out and do everything I could to just wreck me. Apparently knocking me unconscious. So you can't do anything if you or enemy uses magic. Okay, so once you or an enemy casts, game time stops and you do your animation. Good to know. Thank you. Whenever you hear me say edged out of victory, that's usually kind of inclining that you did kind of get out scraping by the edge of your teeth. You didn't get out clean. I would have just fed him Elliot. And then when the man comes up, he's like, oh, was there a second kid with you? Oh, I mean, there was, but everything just happened so fast, and that mantis monster came, and I couldn't do anything. Alright. That appears to be the real Mana Sword. I know. I've seen real Mana Swords. Oh, Randy actually talks. He's not a silent protagonist. I appreciate that. That's important, the fact that he recognizes the Mana Sword. Mana Sword with a capital M, by the way. See, this is what's called story-relevant lore, where it contextualizes and explains the events that just happened in a way that actually keeps the story moving along, not just, this is cool stuff about the sword, this is the reason why. Okay. Problems are too wrong. That's too rude. Must be a defective Mana Sword. Sage Luca. So by the way, Luca the Sage is I don't know if it's the same Luca the Sage who was in Final Fantasy. Because Luca the Sage is the person who predicted all the chaos and the crystals and the orbs of light going out in Final Fantasy 1. But Final Fantasy 1 I think was, what, 86 or 87? Gemma. See, I was wondering if he was a Gemma Knight, if the knight that he saw was a Gemma Knight. Which, by the way, makes me immediately regret when I said Gemma Knight. Hey, G, J, you know how it goes. Wouldn't be the first time I got in trouble for pronouncing things in a way that wasn't accurate. Even though there are times when I am accurate and people think I'm wrong, there are times like this where clearly I was not correct. So it was Gemma Knight, like gems. And it's interesting that he is also named Gemma, and the Gemma Knights were a thing in the first Mana game. That's on the nose. Wasn't it Lucan in Final Fantasy? Was it Lucan? It might have been Lucan. You know what? I think you might be right at Forza. It's probably Lucan. King remembers it as 87. Thank you. Let's see. Yeah, so there's a Lucan in Final Fantasy, Luca in Mana, and there's an actual Luca with 2 C's in Chrono Trigger. How about that? Luke is a very popular surname, apparently. Alright, go to the Water Palace. This game is progressing. I like it. Alright. Once again, the outsider is blamed for its problems and kicked out of the village. How often does that happen in RPGs? Let's be real. And then Luca Blight and Suikoden. Yeah, you're right. King Place is the first RPG you ever played? Ah. The first RPG I ever played, if you ever want to add it to the non-existent wiki that I don't have, was Final Fantasy. Back on the NES. I actually have my original copy of Final Fantasy still in the box, still have the manual and everything. I'm sure the battery died and none of my save data is there, but that was my first RPG. If you don't count tabletop, because I did have fun with tabletop games before I played the NES. And I didn't play any RPGs on the Commodore 64, I don't believe. But yeah, Final Fantasy is the first one I can remember. So their line of logic is funny. They kick Randy out of the village because, according to them, on their side of the legend, the sword protects the village from monsters. Randy pulls it out, so now the monsters are attacking the village. They kick Randy out, thinking the monsters are going to find him, which is fair because the monster did directly attack him, but then they're also thinking that the monsters will just leave the village alone when their original assumption was that the sword was protecting it from monsters to begin with. Gotta love that line of reasoning. Don't worry, that's not in the recap. That's just me playing it being sassy. Yeah, you get going. First Final Fantasy I played was 6 when it was 3 here. That's what I'm talking about, King. I always refer to it as 6. I never refer to it as 3. Because I remember in Nintendo Power, they said it was Final Fantasy 6, and they were calling it Final Fantasy 3. They said so before it came out. It wasn't unheard of. But, you know, not everybody had Nintendo Power. Play the sad music. I believe Gemma invited us to the Water Palace. I love classic Nintendo Power. I still have a few of the issues. I wish I kept them all. I think there's an online archive for them these days, though. Is banish the right word here? Are they banishing him from the village, or are they just casting him out? It's hard to say that you're cast out when you were never accepted to begin with, am I right? I don't want to do this, but I have no choice. Really? I'm pretty sure you started this lynch mob. Alright, Elder, if that's what you want to stick with. Oh, at least you're giving us a going away gift. Watch it be like a rock. Oh, you're heading out? See you later. Yep. Wow, you just throw it down. That's hilarious. Maybe he's not so bad. Oh, so the Elder raised him. Okay, so there is some personal feeling here. We'll believe the Elder. Tempest, your first JRPG was Tales of Symphonia, which also begins with the outsider being blamed for village problems and being exiled. Yup, it happens a lot. You either wake up with amnesia, or you get kicked out of your home village, or your home village gets destroyed and you go out for revenge, or answers, or both. Writing wasn't that diverse. So when you go through so many RPGs and dozens of series, you start seeing quite a few parallels. Oh, here we go. Backstory. Disappeared. Backstories aren't always important, but if they tie in later to the story, it's important to note when it gets brought up. You'll notice that sometimes I leave backstories of characters in if I feel it's relevant. Oh yeah, there's also the Chosen One backstory. Okay. Jon Snow, starting to get into these live streams. Hey, thanks for coming in and watching. I appreciate you. This is only the second time I'm doing... I wonder if I can jump back in the hole. No. Is Elliot back, or did Elliot disappear? If Elliot's gone the entire time and he's just assumed dead, I would actually find that kind of funny. Alright, we better buy the equipment that the store has, otherwise we're never going to get another chance, right? Yeah. Is he wearing a cap or a turban? It's hard to tell. Okay, so... definitely gonna want this. Gonna want that. We should probably buy herbs. Can we only buy one at a time? Is there a limit? You can't carry anymore. How many was that? 4 or 5? Okay. Axel, thanks for joining in. How do I equip anything? Oh, here we go. Oh, wow. Okay, so you navigate these hidden menus with your D-pad. That is an interesting design choice. Oh wait, I'm already wearing overalls. Damn it. I wish I knew that. Well, maybe the next character can... I'll probably just dump it. Whatever. That was a waste. Okay. So apparently we'll get weapon skills later. Good to know. Targeting. Interesting. Look at that controller edit. Okay, I am gonna control edit changes because I don't like rewiring my brain to that. I don't want B to be attack. I want... Well, I'm okay with that being attack, but I don't like B being accept. That part bothers me. Oh, well, no. Oops. How do I get out of this? Push select to exit. Got it. All right. We are, however, going to quick save. Oh, you can controller config. That's cool. You can have different quick save slots. Nice. Alright, sure, we're going. Breath of Fire, by the way, is going to be one that we do return to. I thought about it as being what we play here, but honestly, the Mana series, I only ever did one, and it's been years since we did a Mana game, so it's not too long. It's something I want to play, and the timing's right. And it's happening at the same time as I do my regular one. This will follow the same streaming schedule. I might even do it 3 times a week. Canon Travel Center. Let's check it out. Oh, sweet. I don't want to walk there, but I do want to check out this other option. I gotta gauge range better. Is there a point to cutting grass? Yes or no, chat? So I could just walk there, I see. I almost want to just walk there, right? I can tell you right now, I'm not a fan of that. I hate it when combat is blocked by the environment. That's annoying. Do it 3 times a week? I'm thinking we might do this 3 times a week. Because it's not like it's just a regular video. Well, I mean, it's a regular video game. But you know what I mean. The sooner I can get this done, the sooner I can get a recap going. I just need to decide which of my other days I want to take my night and do it. Or I can do it during the day. We could just have like a long day where I do it in the middle of the day and then I come back. This is all XP. Because if we take the fast travel, we lose the opportunity for XP, am I right? When it says get whacked, is that a critical hit confirmation? I'm thinking it is. Nice. I know we said west, but let's travel south. Oh, hello, what's up? Friend or foe? Oh. That's cool. Can I jump down, though? No. Chests can appear, by the way, the rabbits you defeat drop one. Oh, okay. So there is a point to cutting grass. Thank you. Attack sprite animation. I like that you, on these smaller enemies at least, have knockback, so the charge time doesn't matter so much, but I imagine during tougher bosses and tougher foes it's not gonna really matter, they're just gonna come at you. Whoa! You just came out of nowhere. Also notice that when I level up, I get the hit point cap, but it doesn't actually change. Oh, I can push them. That's funny. Juked me. Okay. Kingdom of Pandora. So I don't think... This game might actually have blocks. Yeah, that's what I thought. You can't go here because story reason. Yeah. Alright. That's okay. That's what you want to check. You got me, Flower. As you can see, playing a recap is very similar to just kind of playing a normal game, normally, and not having any ulterior motives or ways with which you're doing it. But in an RPG, it is important to get grind out of the way. This looks like one of the RPGs where it's going to matter, or you can get a good head start by getting your levels up high early. And you could probably brute force your way through the game, right? Alright, I feel like you just hit me. I don't know if I deserve that. I know I played Children of Mana on the DS, I believe, which was the RTS game, I think. It wasn't that bad. And then there was... Okay, game. Whatever. Or was Children of Mana... Was that the regular adventure game? There was an RTS game, and then there was a regular... Oh, welcome to Neckos. See, we would have missed that on Neckos. Alright, so New Village. Or just an inn. Alright, village music is the same. That's also common. As long as you keep your weapons upgraded. What's up, Neko? What are you buying? These priceless items will have prices. Alright, what's Royal Jam? I assume that's the better version of candy. What would I... Okay, that's probably going to be a quest item, right? The barrel. Hair ribbon. Rabbi cap. Can I check it? Can I even equip this? Wristband. All this stuff seems really expensive. Don't buy from him? Alright, Solaris. I'm gonna trust you. He charges doubles everywhere else? Good to know. See, that's why I appreciate having chat. Oh, hello. Okay, that's a note. It may not be important, it could just be set up for foreshadowing. If it doesn't lead to anything, we delete it. Eleni? I'm gonna say Eleni. Eleni. This is always the fun part, is trying to find something, maybe in a magazine or something, where it's like, hey, do you have like a romanization that gives me a suggestion on how you're supposed to say this name? Because you're always gonna get that person who's like, actually, it's pronounced blah blah blah. And sometimes the actually guy is usually wrong, because they're just going on what their bias is. They're not actually going on any research. It's like, okay, you almost want to be like, I hear you, man, but this official source, this official source, this official source all say this, and I know you're saying that, but I'm not going to believe you unless you provide something to back that up. I always call them name crusaders. Okay. I own Dawn of Mana, but I don't, I never played it. That was back during my PS2 collecting days, where if it was a... Oh, that's Major Dialog. The fact that he has a name means he's worth noting. He may not be, but they took the time to name him instead of just calling him General. This is why we talk to everybody. I didn't talk to the fourth guy. However, we got an animation out of it. Oh, what? Oh, I did not expect that to be a warp point. That probably has monsters that will probably one-shot us, am I right? Especially since we're only at 26 hit points. I like how there's a staggered stepping animation on the stairs. That's a nice attention to detail. You don't see that too often in a lot of games, actually. Even today. You don't see that much attention to detail in sometimes inane things. When you play as many games as I do, you notice these things. Ah, my old man back. Oh, cave behind the waterfall. Gotta love it. See, back in the day, these weren't tropes. This was just how you design games. It's like, you got a waterfall, you gotta have a secret cave behind the waterfall. Enforcer, Titus or Titus? Obviously, so let me tell this story real fast. This might be an interesting story. I thought about making it a video, but I imagine most people don't want to listen to it, since it would be a... I don't say condescending one, but it would be educational. But we'll have that talk later. I always say it correctly. I'll just leave it at that. See, teaches you how to use switches. Can you fall off the edge? No, that's good to know. Can you jump? No. He just fought one. Literally just one. I fought more than that. No. You just fought one. All those those don't count. You just fought one. The rest of those were just scrubs. it's like the mana versus mana, which is a very tomato-tomato thing. In the official advertisements for this game, they say mana, so I'm saying mana. In other games, they say mana, so in those games, I say mana. That's simply how it goes. Wow, look at that backhanded compliment. See, this boy wasn't actually special, it's just that the mana is just, you know, getting really weak. That's why even this scrub boy who only defeated one monster was able to take the sword. It's not about him, just saying. So, it is his fault. How dare you, Randy? There are evil monsters working to steal away the power of the Mana Sword. By defeating those evil monsters. She is clarifying you only need to defeat the evil monsters. The good monsters, leave them alone. They pay their taxes, they contribute to society. Those guys, leave them alone. The evil monsters, though, F them up. Restore the sword's mana power. Mantis Ant. So, is it fair to say the monsters absorb the power of the weakened mana, or they simply claimed it for themselves? Because clearly, like she says, the power is kept in orbs. Looks like it's regained some power from the Mantis Land. So, some of the power of the Mana Sword is being kept away in orbs. Okay. Forge the sword to release its sword power. Solarius, the orbs let you upgrade your weapons. So, can I use that first orb right now? I guess we'll find out. It's funny that you have to reforge the sword to release the power of the sword. Huh. Okay. What's that rock behind her? So I just have Energy Orb 1 out of 2, so I guess once I get 2 orbs then it levels up. Okay. Alright, so now there's an empire that seeks to obtain the Mana Fortress. Okay. Gotta love those classic exposition dumps. It's actually pretty darn common. It's my least favorite way of dumping exposition, which is just having the character stand there and just vomit up exposition everywhere. But that's just very common also at the same time. It's just the Empire. Simplicity. You mean the one that destroys the world in that fairy tale? That Mana Fortress? Or is he talking about the Empire? Oh, it is the Empire. Alright. That's no fairy tale. That's a space station. The Empire's trying to awaken it. What are your sincere thoughts on the Dark Cloud series? I'll let you know when I finish any of those games. I actually have both Dark Cloud games. I never finished them. Which can destroy the world. Okay. It's a simple but effective plot device. The Empire is going to unlock the seals from the world's mana seeds. We have a lot of terms here. A bunch of strangers have already started snooping around this palace. Are you talking about me? Something's very wrong in Pandora. Could the Empire be involved? Boy, I sure hope old man Gemma doesn't die in a dramatic way. Alright. Dark Cloud, however, is one of the games that is on the queue. I can't promise it'll be Phase 3. That would be up to you guys, or like patrons or YouTube members, just demanding it. I don't see it that high in demand. I see it come up, and it's definitely on the queue, but I don't see it super high. Not as high as other series or games. Randy, you go to the cave called Gaia's Navel. Oh, okay. Dwarves live in that cave. They make good weapons. Not great weapons, but good enough weapons. And they know all about weapons. Actually, is she standing behind a seed? Is this one of the seeds right here? like how he struts when he walks. That's a man with business. It looks like a seed the more I look at it. Randy, what are you so scared of? The sword or the fortress? I never said I was scared of either of those. It's just level with me here. I know you're scared. Just tell me. Nobody else is here. It's fine. Just tell me. Is it the sword? Is it the fortress? Well, the fortress seems like it can end the world, so that seems pretty bad. The ancients used their mana fortress in the final battle. Got those ancients at work there with those ancient machines. World-ending technology, but we forgot how to use it. Those ancients just never wrote anything down, and whatever they wrote down, they used weird, funny symbols. Oops. Oh, wait, hold on. There's old blurriness, and then there's slightly sharpened details. I never noticed that. Okay, we're gonna go with the slightly sharpened pixels, which look a little easier on the eyes. I don't need to go with the CRT look. Although it does look authentic that way, the little fuzziness. I think I'll stick with the clearness. Just looks a little bit better, you know? Alright. In the end, it was your sword that saved the world. Sure. It used its last ounce of power to summon you. I like how she said the sword was too weak and that's why Randy was able to pull it, and then she's saying that the sword actually used the rest of its power to summon Randy. Pick a lane. Why did it choose me? I don't know. I'm just saying that it chose you. Anyway, not important. Re-energize it. No problem. First things first, become a hero who's worthy of the sword. Thank you for making it very clear. It's impossible. Okay. You have sealed the mana seed with your mana sword. Okay. So that was a mana seed behind her. Okay. Now the mana power from the seed will be sent only to you and your sword. Yeah, I think since this is an RPG, I'm just gonna have to find a third streaming day or third streaming session to continue this on. Eight palaces. If you collect all 8 pieces of the Triforce, you can revive the mana tree. Take this spear with you. The Mana Guardians. Dare I say, the Geminites? Used it a long time ago. I wonder if they bring up the Geminites. Okay. Got spear. Frogo, play this on the SNES Mini. Or do you play it on the PS4 version, just plays better? Are you talking about the 3D remake? Because I have the 3D remake, but like most cases, because they don't add any story and they don't change really, they don't refine it in any way, I chose to play the, as close to the original version as possible. This is obviously the version on the collection, so that's why we stick with it. I like to stick with the as close to the original version as possible, while still having the most complete version of the game as possible. Sometimes that ends up being tedious, like with the upcoming Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, where there's 3 versions of that game. There's the version Japan got, the original Nocturne, the version the US got, the Maniacs version, and then there was another 3rd version that was the version Japan used to get, but is now going to be the version that the US is going to get in a couple of months. That apparently also has extra stuff, so if I'm going to recap that game and I want the most complete version, it's probably going to be the HD version that comes out in a few months. That's just how it goes. Oh man, there must be more weapons like this spear in the world. Probably, I don't know. Just find them. I'll restore you. Thanks. Want to save your game? Yes. Look for the underground palace. So are there fundamental abilities that are better for the spear versus the sword? I wonder. Can I switch at any time? How do I pick which weapon I have? Oh. What is this? Place for action type. What on earth does this mean? I'm not gonna mess with the default setting on that. I'll take a look at that later, to see what that means, and if I need to mess with it. Targeting doesn't do anything. Equip armor. Is there a change weapon now? The O spear. No, it's just the Zero spear. And the Zero rusty sword, the O rusty sword. AI? Okay, it's an AI setting. Okay, so when I get the other 2 members of my team, because I'm not playing with anyone, they're going to be AI, and I set the AI there. Thank you. That clears it up. That's pretty forward-thinking for 1993 to set an AI that you could be customized for the player to, I guess, handle aggression and resource. That's pretty nice. To reach Gaia's navel, head south through the realm of Pandora. Can do. Should I close this too? And Frogo, I get what you're saying with why not choose the 3D version for its better quality life improvements and things? And that is an important gameplay thing to note. And I will note in the preamble for the intro of the video that this game received an HD remaster that had quality of life improvements and translation improvements and refinements, because that is important to know. However, this is the version of the game that became popular. This is the version of the game that people remember the most when they're thinking of Secret of Mana. This is the I guess you could say the iconic version of the game, for lack of a better term. This is the one people love. There are only a couple times when there's a game where the remake version is so good it effectively replaces the original. Whoa, am I poisoned? This is just... Okay, good. I was gonna say, like, it's not forever, is it? I fell for it again. Whoa. That was unexpected. What are these? Are these goblins? Okay, yeah, they are goblins. I was gonna say. Menu up on the D-pad to get to weapon equip. Okay, because I only saw armor equip. I did not see weapon equip. Maybe that ability got unlocked just now. But yeah, Persona, all the Personas, the later versions are the superior versions. Like Persona 1, the Shin Megami Tensei Persona release versus the original Revelations Persona in the US or the Ibanroku Persona. It's better than both those versions. The Persona 2 remaster is better than the original version. Persona 3 FES refines the original. 4 Golden, 5 Royal, and even Shin Megami. Both 3 and 4 and have their secondary versions that expand on the original versions. So if you're ever getting Shin Megami, you can play the original, but then there's the later version that's just frankly better. Different, so sometimes debatable, but still it's the more expanded version, the more complete version. Randy's taking being boiled alive pretty well. And also, look at that face on that pot. That's a pot of greed smear. Just a smug grin. Oh, hey. Cue dramatic entry. Her stances... I'm not sure what they're going for with that sprite. I guess she's crouching? Help me! I'm stuck in this pot. It won't let me go until I draw 2 cards from the bottom of my deck and add them to my hand. I like that song that they were playing. Owe you my life. I wonder what she was doing passing by a goblin camp. I think she actually wasn't passing by. She probably just heard the shriek. You know, when you're in the pot, you look like someone else. I don't know how to take that statement. Oh, don't worry about it. You're probably not the person I'm thinking of. Because the person I know would also be dying inside of a pot. Excuse me? And I saw somebody put that on the second side opposite the bridge. You could have put that on this side, maybe. Alright, let's go back in. We got our weapons now. Surely we won't be taken advantage of this time. I keep falling for these flowers. I have 1 hit point. Alright, we should probably eat some candy. Or healing herbs. Oh, there's the equip thing. Hold on. Oh, okay, you rotate using that. That's an interesting thing. You can only have 4 medical herbs, huh? I can't eat the medicinal herb. Oh. Never mind, it's backwards. So the candy restores health. The medicinal herb is probably MP. So, slight refinement to the information I received earlier. Ah, got you this time. Oh, hey, there's a treasure chest we're talking about. Candy, sweet. Alright, so something that... Oh, like I said, I always keep falling for these flowers. So other than meeting the girl, there was really not much to the goblin camp. Now we're getting these treasure chests, let's go. Candy won't fit. Ah, what a waste. Ah, so the spear cannot cut grass. Alright. Anything you want to say now? This is Pandora. I was told to let you pass. Yeah, so Gemma must have hooked us up. Okay, here we go. Some more stuff on Gemma. I like that the city has different music than a town. I appreciate that. I always think it's funny when a lot of people think, hey, do you actually play the games you recap? Yes, I play the games. Every single game I recap. Which is why it's always funny to me when you get somebody who's trying to be helpful, and I appreciate that. I appreciate helpful advice sometimes, even if it comes from a place where I don't know if you stopped and thought about the words that you said. But when somebody's like, wouldn't you save time if somebody else played the game for you and you just use the footage? No, it wouldn't, because I would still have to go through all that footage in order to write the script, so it saves me 0 time, as if I just played it myself and did it. So either playing it myself and writing the script at the same time, or watching somebody's full playthrough and, you know, writing a script at the same, you know, afterwards, there's no difference in time. It's just a difference of effort. I appreciate that. Because if, say it takes somebody 20 hours to play a game, I would have to watch that 20-hour playthrough to write a script on it, taking whatever time to write the script. If I play the game for 20 hours while also writing the script at the same time, it's the same amount of time. So. Tip, when releasing attacks, if you do it right and hear a different sound, you do a critical attack most of the time. Oh, I didn't realize there was a timing to the attacks. Interesting. Encountered the girl, rescued her from goblins. She thought he was someone else, leaves without giving her a name, and Randy makes it safely to Pandora. Won't that totally skew the narrative of your script too? Yes and no. There are some games where I do feel that if you watch it, you're experiencing it the same way as if you had played it. Such as certain visual novel heavy games or text heavy games. There's no difference, where the gameplay is so light. There are some games, however, where the gameplay does help convey the story, in which case, yes, that is something where you are missing out by not playing the game, and it's very hard to convey the strength of that, especially if the gameplay is very, very satisfying. Something like Nier Automata, for example. There are only a couple of recaps where the entirety of the game video footage that you're seeing is not done by me. And that is Final Fantasy Before Crisis, because that only was a cell phone game, and it didn't exist in the entirety of the world, and the only playthrough was one English translated fan translation on the internet. That's the only playthrough that ever existed, so I recapped that playthrough. And Bravely Default 1, because even though I played Bravely Default to death, you know, made a couple videos on that, shameless plug, please watch my Bravely Default 2 job guide, because I made one for the previous games and decided it was right. However, I didn't have a 3DS capture card, so I had no choice but to use someone else's gameplay for it. So, it comes up every now and then. Hugh, enjoy the Final Fantasy 15 recap. Thank you. It was a pleasure playing it. There is an upcoming project that I am collaborating with someone that they were very kind to get all the footage I need, because to get it myself would have been an incredible time sink. And because of that, they were so kind to get me the footage that I needed, the way that I needed it, and have allowed me to use their footage. And of course I'm going to give them complete props. But I am still making the recap script for that. Look at this person get stuck on me. Love these classic NPC sprites. They're just hovering next to me. Anyway. You want to talk to people in town, but that's my whole thing. Oh, whoops. I wanted to talk to that lady. Alright, so... You say there's a way to release it, but all I'm doing is pressing a button, and it seems to be one animation. I can't seem to hold the button, or hold the button after attack. Is there a sweet spot that I'm supposed to be aiming for, like the tip of the spear? Because I can't hold the attack in any given way. Oh, you're gonna be one of those villagers. Okay. Is there a way to check if these stats increase what we have? After you level up a weapon, you can hold attack to charge. Got it. Thank you, Dave. I guess I'll just buy this stuff since I can afford it. I guess I'll get hair ribbon. It seems like that might be for the girl, though. I'm guessing the ... means I can't equip that. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess I just bought that girl's kung fu suit for her. I wonder if you guys can hear the train traveling by my window. If you can, I apologize, but it's a train, I can't do much about it. Are there any plans to recap the Ratchet & Clank series? So this may surprise you, but I've only ever played the 2016 Ratchet & Clank, the game based on the movie based on the game. I enjoyed it, but I actually never played any other Ratchet & Clank game. Oh, we have somebody talking to us. Oh, it's the maid. Why is everybody giving me the cold shoulder? I wonder. Also, they say this is the Kingdom of Pandora. Where is the castle? I can't help your mom and dad because they're not speaking to me. Oh, is there a spell going on? Okay. Is it further south, maybe? That's a suspicious looking shadow. Or a statue, I mean. Are these enemies? They're not attacking me. They look like soldiers. They also have crazy looking masks. Okay, I don't have my weapon drawn, so that tells me it's not a combat situation. Alright, so... Castle's northeast. Thanks. Feel free, by the way, if I'm off track of the main story, feel free to tell me, hey, go northeast from here. That in no way is spoiling anything for me. I should tell all of you this, and I'll repeat it to anybody coming by. I get lost very easily. Mazes are my bane. world maps, I constantly have to have them up because I'm constantly getting lost. I get lost in real life all the time. GPSs were made for people like me. So it is not offensive to tell me, hey, the direction of XYZ place is over here. I welcome that information. Please navigate for me. Ow. These darn flowers always getting me. They're doing a good job of camouflaging themselves. Go east. Go right in the screen in the city. Okay, speaking of getting lost, here I am going west when you guys are telling me to go east. Alright. It's like, go east. Your other east. Is there a way to leave east through the village? I'm not seeing it. Do we circle around, maybe? Hold on, go right on the screen in the city? What city? Go north now. Oh, so this is the castle. Wait. Where was this in relation to everything? Oh, I see. I was confused because that soldier standing next to the exit looked just like this soldier, so I thought it was the same exit. I'm stupid. I confused my exits. I'm a storyteller, not a cartographer, damn it. It's not my job to read maps, it's my job to read plot lines and narratives. I need to stop. Is there treasure? Is there even treasure to find in this game? In some of these environments? You're eating a tomato, cream cheese, jalapeno bagel? Ooh, that sounds delicious, by the way. Okay, Empire attacked us about 15 years ago. That's important to know. Which Empire, by the way? You know, the Empire, the only one that matters? Obviously. What are you, a stranger? Empire attacked Pandora 15 years ago. The fact that some people are talking means I now have to talk to everybody. Dialect is popular with the kids. There's a witch up north. We heard about her. Dialect went to go deal with her. He's probably gonna be cursed. Seems like some people have been cursed. Ruins of the South? Yeah, we went there. Sir Elman arranged his daughter's marriage. Alright, we'll keep that name in mind. Oh, hey, it's the girl again. Oh, okay, so she must be the daughter of Sir Elman. Got it. Resolve itself quickly. Hey, it's the guy I saved. You're the one that screamed like a girl. You're a swordsman? As she looks at my spear. Yes. We're gonna go save Dialek. Do we have to save Dialek right now? That seems like her recruitment mission, right? She's probably not gonna care that we're going to Gaia's navel. Recapitation of the Golden Sun series. Golden Sun is definitely on the docket. It might be a Phase 3 thing, though. Dude, there's so many mornings I wake up to bagels and cream cheese. My favorite bagel is the onion bagel. I love onion bagels. So is she supposed to be marrying Dialek? And she thinks we look like Dialek? Come on, man. Really? Alright. Let's see. In exchange for saving Randy's life, she asks his help in rescuing Dialek, which apparently that evasion didn't go over so well. So, helping out, chat. Is saving Dialek the next actual thing? Or are we supposed to ignore this and go down south and keep trying to find Gaia's navel? So is Gaia's navel the next place for the main story? I assume we want to recruit her. She's probably Prim, right? Or is the witch's side quest going to be too hard for us right now? It is main story? Thank you, Dark. That's mostly what I'm looking for, if this is story relevant or not. Because you know how side quests can go. Sometimes there's side quests, even if it involves the main person, that aren't story relevant. However, you'll get lit up right now? Okay. That's the kind of input I'm looking for. So she wants our help, but we're too underleveled, is what it sounds like. That's helpful, thank you. Okay. So right now, continuing to Gaia's navel is more important. Oh, see, Randy even says exactly what we're thinking. That's a good foresight in translation. Alright, her name is Prim with 2 M's. Okay. Oops. As I hit the start button, I hit the controller home button thinking that's the start button because we're so conditioned. I need to pull out my SNES controller for this is what I need to do. Because I have the Switch SNES controller. I have that. Alright. Oh, can I equip her now with, I assume, the other gear? Oh, that's right. Party members have their own thing. Oh, she punches people in the face. I like her style. I'm sure he has a kung fu suit. Man, I keep buying all this stuff. The party members are already equipped. Good lord. Alright, I'll have to sell this junk later. Keith, anyone else think Randy and Prim look like Chrono and Marle? Well, actually, fun tip. When Chrono Trigger was first being developed, way early, like years before it was either considered to be Final Fantasy or the next Mana game, Randy here was Chrono. Chrono and Randy were the same character at some point. That's how early in development Chrono Trigger was. And then later, of course, the Chrono project became a Final Fantasy project and became the Chrono Trigger game that we all know and love. And, of course, Randy is known in here. But yeah, that's the reason why they look so similar, is because at one point they were the same character. How do I leave this castle? I'm lost. Oh. I accidentally found the story. It's just like I like to tell people, in Final Fantasy VI, if you watch my Final Fantasy VI video, you may have noticed during the naming thing it says limit 6 characters. That was very common across a lot of English translated games. In Final Fantasy VI, that was the same case. In Japanese, his name was Cayenne, like the pepper. However, they shortened it to Cyan here in America. And cyan happens to be a color. However, it wasn't cyan, it's the abbreviation of cayenne. Which is why a lot of people are upset that it's like, I'm bringing up that it's Cayenne, because his name is Cayenne. It was always Cayenne. Just because it was shortened to a name that happens to also be a color here in America doesn't mean that's his actual name. His name is still Cayenne, it was just shortened. But, you know, you try to educate some people and it breaks their mental blockage, so they refuse to believe it. You know how it goes. Some people are like, yeah, but it's cyan. I'm like, I know what it says. I'm telling you what it means. Oh well. Anyway, this plot happening. Alright. So they're also talking about the witch now. If I were playing this blind, I would be compelled to think that the witch was actually the next place we were going to. But apparently we're gonna get clapped if we go over there. We're 200 leveled. We're only level 4. I'll probably, between streams, just go out and beat up monsters and grind weapon levels, because you guys are saying that's an important part of things. I don't mind doing off-camera grinding, because that is not important to the story or the stream. It'll speed things up, if anything. Da-da-da-da. The Witch Eleni is draining everybody's energy, as witches often do. She's forming a tree of might. Okay, so he is still telling us to go to Gaia's Navel. It's like you come on next stream and I'm level 99 with just the sword and the spear. It's like, were you grinding? Yes, I was. I ain't got time for slowing down. We got a story to get through. The country of Tasnica is our ally, and the citizens are friends. You got a lot of hate because you pronounced Gao as Gao? Sure. Be careful grinding. If you grind too many of a single type of monster, they'll eventually spawn a black super version. Oh, interesting. I know somebody in chat was mentioning that. That's kind of funny. Alright. Soldiers, give us lore. Or you can all say the same thing. That works too, I guess. You can't enter. I'm already here. This is the king's room. Oh, he gets 2 beds. Must be nice. I loved Gao, by the way. Gao was always one of my go-to party members. I loved Gao. Because once you get Cat Scratch, oh baby. And the Rafflesia flower, dude, you just won the game. People who sleep on Gao or blue mages in general, it just means you don't understand their potential. Especially the original SNES version of Gao, who could equip and become, you know, what was it? He could equip Genji Blades and also Cayenne's Wind Sword, and so he could attack every single enemy on the screen for 999 damage so early in the game compared to everyone else. They fixed that in later versions, so you can't do it in any version but the SNES version. But even without it, Gao is just a literal monster. I love it. He's so good. How do I leave? I'm lost. Okay, we found our way out. Alright, I wonder if Prim's gonna be pissed that we're going to Gaia's Navel first and not the witches. But yeah, if the thing with Gao is that you don't need every single monster in the game. You just literally need 3 monsters. There's like 3 really, really good monsters. The Rafflesia monster also, especially if you play the SNES or the Game Boy Advance version, it simply destroys all bosses because the Rafflesia has a unique charm attack that doesn't count as any other status attack that you can do in the game. Only Gao can do it, which means no monster in the entire game, even the optional boss Shinryu, can deflect it. Which means once they're charmed, they will always attack themselves until they die. It is literally an I win button, and only Gao has it. Alright, so am I going the correct way to the underground now? Help me out here. Oh wait, hold on. She's not doing anything. This is the part where we have to set up the AI. Alright, so what AI should we... I don't want her to do keep away. I want her to beat up things, so I guess... more aggressive. Maybe... if she earns XP and kills stuff, I assume it's a group XP bonus. What's a 0? I guess that's the intensity. Keep gauge up to which level? The hit detection on this bee is sketch. Hey, weapon skill. That face he makes when he eats candy is so funny. He's like, ah! I ate candy! He's so hyped. Man, Prim just getting that XP. You gonna punch it? Go, get him, Prim. We're gonna flank it. Hack tactics. I mean, I was gonna let that bee live, but, you know, since you engaged. No survivors. No witnesses. Are those bones when it dies? That was a cool backflip. Yeah, she backflips. Prim is automatically cooler in my book. We were just talking about this during Spirit Fair, but if you have a cool backflip, that's a +1 in my book. Very few games have an actual devoted backflip. I did not expect to run into another game that had a backflip in it. I'm a simple man, I know what I like. Backflips are one of them. Alright, Ty, so if you go to Gaia's Navel first, Prim will leave. You have to go to the witches and find out you need an axe to get in, and then Prim tells you to go to Gaia's Navel and stays with you. Oh. Okay. So we don't actually have to save Diluc first, we just need to go to the witch's place. Find out we need to get an axe and then go. Okay, Ty. I'm gonna believe you. Because I don't want Prim leaving when we go to Gaia's Navel. Because some people were saying that if we go to Gaia's Navel, Prim will leave. But apparently if we go to the witch's place first, then she'll stay. Man, Prim. Alright, we have consensus from chat. Okay. So after the stream, man, 2 hours already. Time flies. After the stream, in about an hour's time, it will be April 1st in my time zone. Oh crap, we need the sword for this, don't we? Alright. Spear can't cut crap. Oops. I guess we might as well level up the sword while we're here. Oh wait, am I going the right way? I like to think that Randy would have tried to help Prim first, because Prim did save his life. And then they just happen to get railroaded, and so she has to go to him anyway. I don't want to think that Randy abandoned Prim and was like, oh, she's gonna go do her own business? Well, that's a personal problem. Even though that kind of is the case. Yeah, I'm on Central Time. Read. Wait. This is the scammy guy. Alright, so which way to the Witch's Forest? Am I going the right way or am I going the wrong way? I think it was to the west of the Water Palace, wasn't it? Oh yeah, it was right here, it was this portal. Alright, real fast. Quick save. Oh wait. We don't have a... whatever we need to get past this point. So we can't follow anyway. So how do we get to the witch's place? Oops. Come on, screen. Don't grab me. I'm going the right way? The whip? I don't have a whip. Alright, hold on. You have to go west out of Pandora. Okay. Screw these guys, they're not worth it. Oh, well, never mind, they dropped the chest, so now they're worth it. Randy, get up. We have all the medical herbs we need. Get out of here. Alright. Oh, so I can only leave a certain distance from a character. You're going the right way. Yeah, okay. I don't care about these guys. Leave them alone, friend. You, however... Oh wow, we can't exceed so much distance from each other. Ambitious when you think about it, for being 1993, to have this kind of co-op action. There weren't too many co-op games that gave you this much freedom. There were certainly co-op games where two players were on the screen beating up, enemies. That's not new. That's been around since arcades, which preceded home consoles. But for home consoles to do this kind of stuff, pretty ambitious. Hey, give me gold. Thank you. Alright, Pandora. Go west. Kill all the things. Because apparently the Witch's Forest is very scary. I keep running into the same flower. I think it's cool that you sometimes block. That's actually kind of cool, and there's an animation sprite for that. It's not active blocking, but it's cool that you can occasionally block. Alright, so... where from here? I assume we're circling around. That mushroom just sat on her face. Man, this beach is coming up with starting trouble. I could definitely say that once I'm done with the Mana series, then that will absolutely help contribute to the soft lock, because there are some series that are still ongoing, like say Resident Evil, where obviously there are still installments. Alright, just in case this is a healing herb, let me eat some candy. Actually, we have room for candy. We're fine. Hey, speaking of level, there's candy. So those don't count against the soft lock, because you can never be truly done with those series because they're still alive. Same for Final Fantasy, because obviously 16 is in production. And technically, Final Fantasy VII Remake is still in production. Remember when I told everybody that annoying repetition, if any of you bothered to watch my 7 Remake review, where I said, you know, fantasy based on reality and additional supplements will be made? And that's totally what happened, is that additional supplements are being made. And the moment I heard that Intergrade was being released, I was like, I told you. I told all of you. Nobody wanted to hear me, but I told all of you. That between splitting up that game, they're going to be splitting up the split-ups to make more... just milk it. Am I pleased with that? No. Is it a great game? Yes. But Intergrade is also the reason why I wait usually 6 months minimum to a year after an RPG comes out, because you never know, especially with certain studios like WB or Square Enix, they love to just pop out DLC months after the release, I guess to either reinvigorate sales, and oftentimes it's story DLC, and so if I'm trying to tell a complete story, well, don't I look stupid? The reason why I didn't do Persona 5 is because I knew there was going to be an additional version of them, because every single other version of the mainline Shin Megami Tensei or Persona games all had additional versions. We're going to Kiplo Village, apparently. I wonder how much it is to stay. Oh, 10? I'll save for 10. That's... worth a single candy. Crimson, I would love to see what a remake of Final Fantasy VI would be like. Here's all you need to do for Final Fantasy VI. Take the translation of the GBA version, because I think it was Keith who brought it up, Woolsey. Woolsey is the person who did the original translation of 6 on the SNES, and a lot of people love that translation. A lot of people did not like the retranslated version of the enhanced port. I'm not calling it a remake, but the enhanced port, because that is a term too, on the SNES, or not SNES, but the Game Boy Advance, which later was the PC and portable version. And that version is terrible, just art design alone. In the enhanced version, they used the translations that were closer to the original Japanese translations, and so technically the enhanced re-release is the more accurate version for the script, like it or not. That being said, just use the better version of the dialogue, use all the extra content that came with it, like the quests and the side quests and all the extra summons you could do. Keep all of that. Keep the side dungeons, keep the post-game content. All you need to do is use the HD 2D art design that was in Octopath Traveler. There were people that, just like me, saw Octopath Traveler like, Jesus, that's all I want Final Fantasy VI Remake to be. That's all you need to do, is just do that. Please. And there's some people that even put mock-ups of it, and how talented many people are. So if I select this, how can I tell if somebody can equip it? And how much better is it? Obviously the Kung Fu dress is going to be better than her. Shane Vest is for me. Alright, I'm going to upgrade my stuff. Oh wait, their face is in the middle, obviously. Okay, I see that now. I guess I didn't notice it before because there was no face to pop up earlier. Alright, is Prim worth almost all of our money? Because if I buy this pad, she's not getting the dress. Unless I grind afterwards. We'll just buy the cheap armor upgrades first. And we will sell the extraneous armor that we have. I like how you can sell it even though you have it equipped. If I can get one more GP, I can actually buy that dress. Actually, if I sell this, then I can buy her dress, and I can buy nothing else. No, I don't want... I want Randy to wear this. Oh, hold on. This is Randy's screen. I think it's weird that Randy and the party members have different screens, but they look the same. I gotta get used to this. This is just the learning curve. Alright, Crimson, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you. Yeah, get some rest. Thank you so much for coming out. I will post in the community notes when the next stream is going to be, because I like to do 3-hour sessions. I like to take breaks often myself too. Oh, it's this guy. It's Cannon Man. The husbands and brothers look all alike. Yeah, I know. The family resemblance is uncanny, isn't it? At the very least, count on a midday Saturday stream. But I'm going to be planning for another stream for sure. Probably midday. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So clearly, am I going the right way to the witch's village? Or the witch's forest, the haunted forest? Because clearly this is Gaia's navel over here. How do I get to the witch's area? Oh, right there, Haunted Forest. Good lord. Okay. Answered my own question just by playing the game. Give me money. Give me money. Oh, what the? It was a trap. That's funny. That's unexpected. I like that. Keith just thought name your patrons onlyfans.com. That's actually kind of clever. Alright, before we do this, let me take a quick break. I'll be right back. Let me get some water and refresh myself, and we'll continue. There's not too much longer in the stream. I like to, like I say, go for 3 hours, but we'll find a good stopping point. Maybe once Prim tells us where we go find the axe and have to come back. We made good progress on writing a basic script here, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Everyone remember to stay hydrated. Okay. Can't trust any pink flowers. Huh. Some kid into it. Interesting. So the double flowers are traps, that's for sure. Okay. I doubt I can hit that. Ow. At least these don't hurt us. Just barriers. Sorry, we're gonna need to cut some stuff. Oh, we can't hit through them. Take that. But man, they punch hard. 14 damage a pop? Yeah, no thanks. Oh, it's you. What's up? Yeah, no thanks. We have bats. We won't be able to cut this without an axe. Alright, so this is the part you were telling me about. Alright, thank you. This is actually worth noting because this denotes why they couldn't go and just... You know, it's not like Randy just said, F you, I don't care about dialogue, I'm just gonna go to Guy's Navel. They legit tried. Blats? Is that what they're called? Blats? Okay. We better go to Gaia's Navel first. Man, it's almost like I suggested that and you ignored me until it became convenient for you. Do we all know coworkers like this? Where you suggest an idea, and then they eventually come to the same idea and then act like it was their own idea? Prim is super relatable. Alright. Oh, that's a nice striking animation for her. I caught her. Like I saw a punching animation. Alright, can we kill this person? See if we can get some mad XP. Beat him up. Get him in a corner. Cut him. Nice. Oh crap. He got the last laugh. I hope the XP was worth it. Where does this go? Oh, further in. Oh, it's one of those mazes. Moogled. Wow. I did not expect that. Imagine never playing Final Fantasy and being Moogled. And you're like, what the hell is this koala bear with bat wings? I don't trust these. This is the Cursed Woods. Why wouldn't every chest be cursed? You know? I'm not gonna trust it with 20 HP. Which is why I'm gonna eat a candy. And open it at full HP. Hey, got a candy back. Alright, well, that was free then. Alright, since we can't move anywhere onward, we might as well just leave. Nice backflip, Randy. Ooh, did he do like a leaping slash there? That was super cool. This was before Final Fantasy Moogles, you think? Well, Final Fantasy Moogles were introduced in Final Fantasy 3, I believe, because Chocobos were introduced in 2, and Final Fantasy 3, the original Final Fantasy 3, not Final Fantasy 6, were where the first Moogles came into being. Okay, come on, Prim. And since the Final Fantasy 3 was on the NES, and this is obviously later on the Super NES, Moogles definitely preceded this. This was not before Final Fantasy Moogles. Oh, so this is their fast travel. To have fast travel, this is great. Solarius, stand corrected that fast start. It's okay, man. We all learn something new. That's what us being wonderful, rational adults who have a conversation can exchange ideas and perspectives in a civil manner, as opposed to shouting at each other through forums, Reddit posts, Twitter comments, and saying, I'm right because I think I'm right. We could just be corrected and it's okay and move on with our lives. Thank you for being so level-headed about it. Alright, so I don't want to go to Pandora just yet. Let's go to Gaia's Navel. Let's at least try to get to Gaia's Navel first. You're fake. I can actually safely trust the AI in this game. I feel it's doing a good job. The real question will be during bosses, though. Oh, so you were not a double flower. See, this is why I'm constantly getting tricked by these flowers, man. How do I do the leap attack? I feel like it would do more damage. Sometimes it's happening, but not always. Maybe it's just a random chance thing. Yeah, see, like he did a weird slash there. It looked like an uppercut slash or something. I'm doing different animations, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'm only hitting the attack button. Alright, so we can go through water there. We may have to go through the water there. Oh no, we were here before, weren't we? Yeah, see, he did the leaping slash there. How do I do that? Are there just techniques that I just am not doing, but I'm accidentally doing? Alright. Is this actually a dead end? How do I get up there? Each weapon has a random animation that does the same damage. In the case of the fist weapon, it'll occasionally do a throw that actually does no damage at all. Ah, thank you. That's still pretty cool that they have different visual attacks. It's not the same animation every single time. They sometimes mix it up to keep it interesting. That is actually pretty cool. I really wish I could hit them when they're getting up. Their wake up animations gives them iframes. What are these shenanigans? You could have just walked away, V. Yeah, I would have left you alone. You could have just walked away. But you chose this. Will she suplex a creature? Oh wait, we were here before. We're just going back the way we came. Oh wait, hold on. We went too far south. Keep going down. Anytime you see stairs, go back to the west side. Okay, Gabe, come on. You were going the right way, going down, then wind around counterclockwise and go through the caves and the waterfall. Back cave in the waterfall? Okay. B, get out of here. I do like when I want to keep going, the AI will respond and be like, okay, let's go. Okay. Ah, you're right. There wasn't another... There are two caves. I was gonna leave that battle alone, but alright. I guess we're doing this. Kill all the things. Oh, hello. Look at those cheeky blobs. Those little slimes. And they do. I was wondering if they would cut. How many times do they split? Look at that really tall skull of a really tall person. The right way is blocked until you get an axe. Oh, good thing we went left. Thank you, guys. Yeah, you're right, the leap animation did no extra damage. And explode into little skeletons. So graphic. This is tactical espionage action. We actually could have just let them live and just snuck on by. It's funny that Chrono Trigger is one of my favorite RPGs of all time, and yet I never got into the Mana series that spawned it. You'd think I would be all over it. That's just not how things turned out. This is one of the reasons why I'm grateful for Recapitation, is because as much as it's a return down memory lane for some of you, for me, it's a chance to make up for lost time and discover or rediscover a lot of the games that people have been telling me over the last 20, 30 years, hey, these are so good. And due to circumstances, like I never owned a Super NES, so I played a lot of Super NES games late. Or through other means, such as re-releases, ports, emulators, things like that, you know. I did eventually buy my own SNES cards, but way after the fact, and of course SNES cards are super, you know, expensive, but yeah. And same thing for the PS1. I never had a PS1. I had a PS2 that I bought for myself when I started buying games and consoles for myself, but I never had a PS2. When I did buy my PS2, because it was backwards compatible with PS1, I had a chance to, I like the smirk on that skull. Alright. What changed? Did it lower the lava? It did. I had a chance to go back and play a lot of PS1, PS2 games, but I got almost, in fact, pretty much every single RPG and or horror game that was on a Balloon. That's an interesting one. RPG or horror game on the PlayStation 2. But the PS1, that library, I only got to borrow PS1 games that my friends had. So that's how I got to play a lot of Final Fantasies, which were after the fact. So I played Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 much later than most of you. I played it while everyone else was playing Final Fantasy 10. Of course I played Final Fantasy 10, but that was also the times when I was playing 7, 8, and 9. So I never played it when it first launched, never had the opportunity to. Which to me is actually a good thing, because by that time I played so many RPGs that I had perspective on things. And so that's why I could come at 7, 8, and 9 from a different attitude that many people were coming from. Especially since for many people they always tell me the PS1 era was their first introduction to a lot of different RPGs. And a lot of different companies had RPGs on there, including ports of several SNES games, like 5 and 6 were ported to, Final Fantasy 5 and 6 I mean, were ported to the PlayStation 1. So it was always weird to me that people said that 7 was among the first RPG they ever played, when I'm like, how is that possible when you have just 15, 20 years of amazing RPGs that came before it? It's the same argument you can make today, even though you can make it a much more extreme example, which is when a person says, oh, like, I don't know. I'll give an example. So I got a comment, because I do read comments, for better or for worse. I need to stop, though. Where somebody on the Final Fantasy VII Remake said that, hey, I just saw the recap on Final Fantasy VII Original, and I was surprised to see that the dancing sequence for the Honeybee Inn was actually the Honeybee Inn sequence in general and the shenanigans of cross-dressing. That was not something that was for a remake, that was actually in the original. And you have to understand that perspective. To most of us who are like, of course it was, but we know that. This is somebody who hasn't played this game because that game came out over 20 years ago. It's not reasonable to understand or expect them to play that game. That's a tall ask to ask somebody, much less somebody that's our age experiencing these games, to go back and play a 20-year-old game. That's a tall ask. Some people don't see it that way. They're like, how dare you not understand? It's like, what are you talking about? Put yourself in that person's position. It's a tall ask. You found a magic rope. So is the magic rope is that... What do I do with the magic rope? What is magic rope? Okay. I'm trying to kill these things, they keep multiplying. Thank you. It takes you to the entrance? Okay. But yeah, going back to that story, for me, I'm using Recap as an opportunity to catch up on a lot of, especially PS1 era and SNES era stuff that I wasn't able to get. I'm so thankful that for many cases like the eShop or collection restorations like this, I have the opportunity to take time not only for personal reasons, but also technically business reasons, to catch up on a lot of those RPGs and stories that otherwise would be lost because it's unreasonable. Did I come this way or am I going back in circles? So even though this game came out in 1993 and I'm playing it so many years later, it doesn't matter. Because especially if this game holds up, then this game should hold up. Marcus, love your videos. Thank you so much, Marcus. I appreciate it. This has got to be new because that's a Switch. Can I just actually not go through those rocks? Am I supposed to jump down this hole? Alright, well, I guess we don't go this way. And what I... Whoa. We have new music. Oh, I see. It raised us this platform here. Oh. Are you dwarves that will go lally-ho? A while ago, a sprite's child was washed down here. It's doing magic tricks. Interesting. And what's great is that with Recap, there are many of you who are in similar situations to me that either because of time, opportunity, accessibility, you just weren't able to play all those games. And again, it's a tall ask to ask for your time now with especially for some of us who got older, just the time, the money, or just anything. Just it's easier just to get a recap. Just tell me everything play by play, the important stuff that happened. Help me relive the game without actually playing it. And to me, that's the value what recap got. So that's a long roundabout way of saying that I am glad on most days to still keep doing recap, because it's value to me, but it's also more importantly value to many of you. All right. Does the Village of Dwarves have a name? I see that crack to the side and I want to bomb it, like it's Zelda. Actually, I wonder if it makes a different noise if I smack with my sword. Wouldn't that be funny? Oh, I can't pull out my sword. Okay. Hopefully many of you who are coming on and watching this live, and you're like, wow, that is his natural tone of speaking, or wow, that is how he talks in terms of his pace. It's always weird to me. I will always get the, hey, I think you talk too fast, and I will always retort by saying, no, 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 you just think too slow. Because, you know, when you're talking at your normal pace, you're talking at your normal pace. For some random stranger who you have no way of understanding what their natural pace of speaking or approaching things is like, to blindly say, hey, I think you're speaking too fast, and you're actually not speaking fast. You can go faster. And it's like, I'm not going fast, I promise you. This is my normal pace. You're just not catching up. It makes it challenging. I know that the normal narration that most people always prefer, and I'm always told, is to have a slow, moderate pace of speaking, so that people have time to contemplate, understand, and absorb the words you are saying. This is like I'm reading a book on tape. This is the way I will never narrate a recapitation, because I don't care about narrating a book on tape. I care about getting the story out in a way and manner that is natural to me. If you can't keep up, that's a personal problem. And that's the reason why I speak the way I do. I could also artificially lower my voice to make it sound more radio-esque. Make sure to shave yourself down below with Manscaped 3.0. Blah blah blah. Subscribe to my newsletter. Buy my t-shirts. But no, this is the normal way. Yeah, this is how I normally talk. Tell people to listen faster. I want to, but then I would be doing what they're doing, which is not matching my pace with theirs. Alright, so the spiky suit. The mage robe. I'm not gonna buy the mage robe because the sprite that we're about to meet probably already has it on. Let's be for real. What if it's an offer for a really cool book? I mean, if somebody wanted to actually hire me to narrate something like a book on tape, and they said, okay, for this book on tape, you have to speak at this pace, at that point, it's a job, so I am going to comply. But if they were like, hey, speak into this mic and sound natural, hey, it is what it is. Rob Cotto, Leo Lion, I'm just shouting out people, Tyler, names that I don't recognize, like you, Dark River. And I appreciate you guys all coming on and having conversations. To me, meeting more of you is so fun. I'm like, now, maybe I should live recap more often. Alright, I'm gonna buy the spiky suit, though. This seems like one of those old school RPGs where you are going to buy upgrades at every single town. Leo Lion, I live in the city. People speak a mile a minute. Oh, I'm telling you. If you couldn't tell by my distinct Yankee accent, I too was born in New York, Queens to be precise. That was the borough. And yeah, people are like, you were born in New York? Yeah. So if you couldn't tell by my distinct New York accent, and I know I don't have a distinct New York accent. Sometimes when I get mad, it comes out, but yeah. Leo Lion, no, and also great shout out to bring up Secret of Evermore. That is actually an RPG that gets brought up a lot. I would have to say, based on popularity of what I've been seeing from feedback, Persona, of course, is really popular, and there's going to be 2 Personas coming up soon, which is Persona 2 Part 1 and Part 2. But Breath of Fire, I see a lot of people asking for the next Breath of Fire, and I will do Breath of Fire. Don't worry, Breath of Fire 2 is very high on the docket. Alright, enough scrambling. Alright, so the chain vest is a downgrade for her. Okay, spiky suit's an upgrade for me. Where am I now? I am currently in Texas. If you want a locale, because Texas is an effing huge state, good lord. You can actually drive for 11 hours and still not leave this state. It is crazy how big this state is. I am closer to Houston. You used to grind 1000 GP at this part? I might, because we're getting close to the stopping part. I just want to find our sprite friend. If we can recruit our sprite friend, I think I'll call it. That'd be a great stopping apart. Oof, I'm getting tired. Welcome to the Dwarf Village. You got a name? Not one you could pronounce, outsider. Ha ha ha. Anyway. You're in Vancouver, you can drive 12 hours north and still be in the same province. I know that feel. Yeah, let's watch the show. Wow, that is a small sprite child. Good lord. It's not slavery, it's indentured servitude. Ha ha ha. And I always wondered how you made these. That's exactly why I'm doing this, so that way you can find out. I did do, some of you may remember, I did do a live recap of The Last of Us Part 2 when it came out, and let's just say chat was colorful. and very animated, shall we say. Do I spend 100 GP here? It seems like a trick. Pay it? Alright, let's pay it. Whoa. That sprite just grew 3 times its size. That was weird. Griffin, yeah, you were there. Passionate. That's a good way of putting it, Mark. They were very passionate. One way or the other. They were passionate. It was almost a distraction in the beginning part of it. It was almost a distraction to the point where I was thinking, oh my god, did I make a mistake? It's a sham. This child sprite is actually a sprite child. Okay, we have some story events happening here. They hear of a sprite child performing magic and see it's indeed performing tricks to make money disappear from the wallets of kind-hearted folks. It is indeed flipping tricks. Pole dancing dwarves. I would actually take that. I would love another way to incorporate research purposes. There were a lot of research purposes happening in early 90s games. It was a wild time. It was an extreme type. A very extreme time. If you were in the 90s and you were a 90s kid, you know everything was extreme. Everything was allowed. Nothing was forbidden, everything was permitted. It'd be funny if they gave back 99 gold. M4, what kind of keyboard are you using? A no-name, no-brand keyboard. And you know what? It types in Notepad the exact same as a keyboard that would be made for all the MLG gaming in the world. Yeah, they say that there was a washed up flood here, but I saw lava down in those caverns. I didn't see a flood, unless they meant a flood of lava. Extra big cargo shorts. Oh, dude. Remember Jinko jeans? That being a thing? Or like skater shoes. That was like such a cool thing. And then the Matrix came out, and then everybody was wearing black. Those are things you had to be there for. Okay. What would be great is if you can give me an axe. And my axe. Oh, and remember the rise of the internet in the 90s? When it stopped being the web and actually became the net? This may surprise some of you who were born in the last decade or two, but originally it wasn't called the internet. It was actually called the web. It was the web. And use groups was the name of how you got around on the internet, quote unquote. When it became Internet 2.0, it was just called the internet, and it was just called the social internet, and that's basically how the internet got redesigned in the last couple decades. And you would have websites that, if you were lucky, like everybody had like an Angel Fire page or something like that. Alright, so where do I go to get my axe? And get the Elder to talk. Oh, are you the smith that's gonna help me? Oh, yeah. Please reforge it. Remember when dial-up was... Remember you were a cool kid if you had a 56K modem at home? That was considered amazing. Most people had 28.4 or whatever. It was... you literally started dial-up, and I'm not joking. If you got connected to the web in 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops, that was considered fast. If you got 10 minutes, so you could get up, make yourself a sandwich, eat that sandwich, and still not be connected to the web. Man, remember those times? Ah. I used to have the same AOL username, which eventually became my Hotmail email, which eventually became my Microsoft login, and they deprecated that, and, you know, when Outlook became a thing. Alright, so Watts is the name of the smithy that they find. Remember when YouTube was first fledgling back in 2006 or 2009? And, I remember when Facebook was just for college kids, and I actually was one of the people that first had one of those first Facebook accounts, and you couldn't write whatever you want. It was like, I am, and then you had like a thing. Oh, I remember those. Oh yeah, Shadows. If your parent used... Anybody picked up a phone, you immediately got disconnected. It's crazy. The internet used to be called cyberspace. Yeah, it was like the information superhighway cyberspace. People kept using those monikers, but it was definitely the web. It wasn't the net. Okay. And the most popular way viruses got around was through emails. Remember the I Love You virus that hit so many people? Oh my god. Oh yes, hilarious. There was always that guy on like the school bus who had a CD burner, and so he would take orders from people to burn CDs. Oh god, I remember that. He's like, I got a CD burner. It's like, okay, let's talk business. How much you charging a disc? Remember when video started becoming a thing, and it was 144p that was considered like amazing? 144p was just considered like revolutionary. FMV games were made around that resolution. It was nuts. And of course, that was the fledgling use of anime music videos because anime was also becoming a thing in the early mid 90s. Anime was so scarce that if you just said you watched anime, everybody watched the same anime because we only had the same 3 or 4 series, either on TV or in the video store, because the videos all were VHSs that only had 2 episodes on them, so everybody saw the same anime. It's not like today where it's not just what anime you watch, but what type of anime you watch, which series you've seen, what seasons you've watched, and whether it's a manga adaptation or not. And if you watch a sub or dub, there's so many subcultures now. How about this? Like, talking about a game from 1993, it evokes these feelings, am I right? Newgrounds. Not just Newgrounds, man. Remember E-Bombs World? The original memes, man. Anyway, let's finish this up. Mark is right. Everybody was either watching DBZ and or Sailor Moon. Because in the early 90s, there were a couple of fringe animes that were released to the West, but the big ones were DBZ and Sailor Moon. Those were the OG people that were breaking ground and setting up territory and creating fan groups. And what's cool is that DBZ and Sailor Moon, they didn't compete with each other. I mean, I watched both. I mainly watched DBZ, and my sister would watch Sailor Moon, so I ended up watching both, and I'm like, oh, it's actually not that bad. I felt it was a bit repetitious, but, you know, you could say the same thing about DBZ. Yeah, make an X. Come back again later. Is later leaving for one screen and coming back? Let's find out. Oh, we got stuff happening. Are we getting a boss fight? Oh. Alright, game. Oh, shenanigans. Ah. How am I not hitting this vine? How did that hit the vine? Oh, how am I hitting this vine? What? So it's gonna follow me forever till I get hit. Maybe I have to hit them back. The hit detection in this game is not intuitive. I tell you that right now. I don't have a res for Prim though. Sorry, Prim. Oh wait. Don't I have a stronger magic herb? I guess it doesn't matter because it's 100 hit points. Take the hit. We can tank these hits. It doesn't seem like I should be able to hit this guy, but you totally can. Really, that didn't count? Come on, game. Got him. How do you know her name is Prim? That's been established later as canon. There's official sources that name all three of them. The kid's name is Randy, her name is Prim, the sprite's name is Popoi. As there's been more official media including them, including the mobile games. Ah, here we go. The classic I lost all my memories. Oh my god, what a ghastly laugh. Tropicalo. That sounds like a fruit juice. Man, I could sure go for the 100% 5% fruit juice Tropicalo right now. Hey, brother. Let's go, brother! Why don't you name me too? How a convenient story reason for not having a name already. I'm gonna name you Popoi. Andrew, didn't know you live streamed. I do! Wednesdays and Saturdays normally. But, this time we're doing something special, so thank you for coming by and thank you so much for watching the videos. You just noticed there's no recapitation on Earthbound. That is correct. The Mother series is something I will do later, probably as part of Phase 3. Phase 3 is anything post the Soft Block series that I just need to finish up first. Any series that are dead series, like the Meta series, you know, not to be disrespectful, but that's just how it is. Those need to be finished up first before we open up new series. Before we open up new dead series, like Earthbound / Mother series. You can go to the palace by way of a hole over there. But there is a lava field, which Eleni made to seal the palace, so we gotta go back to the witch anyway. Okay. The once good witch. See, it's good wordplay that suggests a relationship in the past. Go north of the haunted forest, find her castle, ask her to open the seal. Oh, okay, at least all I have to do is just ask. Oh yeah, here's a bow and arrows. We dwarves are known for our archery. You know, with all the trees that grow around here, you know, we just made this bow and arrow. Alright, let's get our axe and we'll call it for tonight. Man, I tried making an axe, but it sucks. I wonder why. You know, I heard from a very reliable source you guys only make good weapons, not really great weapons, so this is kind of what I expected, to be fair. Got a boomerang, huh? What? You could smash a boulder with it. That is what axes are known for. They are known for hammering boulders. That is exactly. So they need to be forged to release any mana received from the orbs. Sure. Only I can do it, just letting you know. Don't bother shopping around. No one else has better deals than me, and I'm saying that not because other people have better deals than me, but because I am literally the only person on the planet who could do it. Don't second guess that. Don't look around. I'm literally the only person who could do it. You're coming back, right? Ah, so this is the way that goes forward, and it goes at the second waterfall. Alright, here we go. first things first, let's change. Oh, okay, cool. So boomerang or bow? I mean, the bow does more damage right now. The way these menus work is so weird. Alright, I'm okay with her being super aggressive. So far it doesn't seem to be an issue. Although, and this is for me not healing them during the boss, I just need to pay better attention to that. Is that how you pronounce it, Rafflesia? I mean, that's how I thought you pronounce it. But, hey, again, I could be corrected. Alright. Let's quickly do a quick save. Modern conveniences. Quit the title screen. Alright. Let me quickly save. I'll clean up some of the script later, because I can just... What I'll do is, especially, I normally do sessions, it's best to just kind of go through, make a skeleton, spend some time the following day, usually after breakfast. I'll go through the script, look at points that need to be better transitioned, and clean up the writing. I don't do any cuts until the game's over, and I can kind of see the greater scheme of how smaller details or foreshadowing or transitions connect to each other. So I'll clean up some of the skeleton, flesh it out a little bit, and take a look about where we're going next time. Until then, if you want to join the Discord for alerts for when I go live, or just, you know, not to sound cheesy, but if you want to hit alerts on the channel, that also alerts you to when I go live. Or note the community page, because I will also post there probably the next time I'm streaming. Other than that, the normal streaming schedule is Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Even though I'm Central, I'm just so used to Eastern Standard Time, it's easier. And I will see about having another session, because Secret of Mana is clearly one of those where two sessions a week is not going to cut it. We're going to have to do 3 sessions a week. And I'm pretty sure I can find the time, because, hey, that's another recap down the way, so... better progress. Until then, please look forward to the next video, which should be, let's see, uploading soon. Let me check, because ever since I posted Killer 7, YouTube says I'm not good enough to rate my own games anymore, so they put me on the bad boy list, because I said I didn't rate it harshly enough. Even though I put an 18 age restriction on it and flagged it for sexual content, language, and violence, they said it's not good enough, and so they don't trust me anymore, so all my uploads have to be manually reviewed, which can take hours. Like for just for the 10-minute Bravely Default 2 review, it took 6 hours for them to manually review it. I'm like, Jesus, when they get those recaps that are going to be close to 30 minutes to an hour, I can only wonder how long it's going to take for YouTube to manually review it. And they say manual review, but I doubt a human actually watches it. You know, it's just a more specialized bot combing through it, looking for any objectionable content. So, that's what I get for posting a video like that. It is what it is. But let me quickly check to see if it's ready, because I posted it in the middle of the day. Good, it's ready. Okay, cool. So in about 10 minutes, please look forward to the next upload. It will be a recapitation. And please look, it will not be the Persona ones, because the Persona ones I'm still working on it. It's obviously not going to be Secret of Mana, because I'm working on that right now. It's also not going to be the other secret project that I keep talking about, that I'm also working on, because it takes a lot more details on it. It will make sense when it comes out. So yeah, I have multiple pots cooking right now. But thank all of you for coming out and not only helping navigate this game with me, helping me out. I really appreciate a lot of you. And meeting a lot of you for the first time, so I hope we can have more conversations, talk a little bit, reminisce, and talk about new stuff next time. Thank you so much, Dark Rare. I appreciate that tip, by the way. Thank you. High five. Appreciate you. You were a big help tonight, and hope to have some more help from you next time as well. Probably Saturday, but probably earlier as well. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next battlefield.